If you are over 40 and you feel like you're running on a treadmill that never seems to move, this is why you are still stuck. You wake up, you go to work, you pay the bills, and at the end of the month, your bank account looks exactly the same as it did a decade ago. If you are tired of the constant cycle of working harder only to end up with less, pay attention, because the next few minutes are gonna change how you view your entire financial future. Before we dive into the raw truth, take a second to hit that subscribe button if you are ready to finally take control of your financial destiny. And drop a comment below with the word clarity, so I know you are committed to making a change. This feeling of being trapped is happening to most men over 40. It is a quiet crisis that goes unspoken in most households. You look at your peers or even the people you started your career with, and you notice a gap widening. Some seem to have it figured out while you are still grinding, wondering why your money disappears before the month is even over. You have good habits on the surface. You show up to work. You try to put a little bit away, but the math just does not add up. This is not just a streak of bad luck. It is a structural failure in how you are managing your life. Monkey D.A. Dade said that time is the toward. You are brought to the broads. Within the days it was showed for them so plies, quite the appearance. That's a choice because is the evolves. The real reason you are stuck is your relationship with invisible money leaks and the psychological programming that keeps you tethered to a lifestyle you think you need to maintain. You have been conditioned to believe that status is defined by consumption. You are not broke because you do not earn enough. You are broke because you have been optimized to feed a system that relies on your inability to save and grow your capital. Everything you have been told about money is wrong. We are taught to climb the ladder, get the promotion, buy the house, and the rest will fall into place. But at 40, you realize that while you were climbing, the ladder was leaning against the wrong wall. You have been focusing on income, but wealth is built on the delta between what you earn and what you consume. You are stuck because you are playing a game of survival when you should be playing a game of accumulation. You have been sold the dream of keeping up appearances, and the cost of that performance is for freedom. The financial habits you formed in your 20s and 30s were designed for a different season of life, and keeping them today is a deliberate choice to remain stagnant. This is where most people get stuck in a cycle of despair. You think that if you just get one big break or one raise, everything will be solved. But this is only part of the problem. Even with more income, if your baseline habits remain the same, you will simply scale up your spending to match your earnings. It is the classic trap of lifestyle creep, and it is the primary reason why high earners are just as broke as those at the bottom. You need to stop looking for the magic bullet and start looking at the mechanics of your daily decisions. You have the power to change this, but you have to stop lying to yourself about where your money really goes. This is why you stay broke and why this is costing you years of your life. When you do not control your money controls you. It dictates where you work, who you work for, and how much time you get to spend with your family. Every dollar you waste on interest, on depreciating assets, or on status symbols is a dollar that could have been invested in your future freedom. By 40, you should be building momentum, not just bailing water out of a sinking boat. If you do not change your trajectory now, you are resigning yourself to a future where you never stop working, where you never have the peace of mind that comes with true financial stability, and where your aging years are defined by anxiety rather than choice. Here is how to fix your money starting today. The first step is the brutal audit. You need to track every single cent for 30 days. No exceptions, no excuses. Write down what you spend, categorize it, and identify the leaks. You will be shocked at how much small, mindless spending adds up to a massive drainage of your potential. Second, must automate your savings. If your money touches your checking account, it is already gone. Treat your savings like a non-negotiable tax you pay to your future self. Third, kill your debt. If you're got E, en effort kan becompost broises. Hey, de vergespat kooptweed afwiezer. De diep baeda, kindly bark premio wani en the mic about the chuario wiz's method. He with the sectus high and sadi his zipaden fingik seriga ti sipa di sindi sihu shol. These are not complex strategies, but they are effective, and they require the discipline that most men lack. This is what no one tells you about the process of getting ahead. It is going to be uncomfortable. You are going to have to say no to people, no to experiences, and no to the version of yourself that wants instant gratification. There is a psychological barrier you will hit when you stop spending on things that do not matter to you. You will feel a sense of loss at first, but that loss is actually the shedding of a false identity. True financial control comes from detachment. You have to stop viewing money as a tool to impress others and start viewing it as a tool for autonomy. When you embrace this shift, the sting of sacrifice turns into the thrill of ownership. You are no longer living for the weekend or for the next purchase. You are living for the compounding effect of your own intelligence. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. This is the brutal truth about money that most men spend their entire lives avoiding. There is no government program, no massive inheritance, and no sudden stroke of luck. Wait till it's for you around the corner. Your liking is as the result of your decisions, and your financial situation is this direct reflection of your financial habit. If you hate where you are, you have to be the one to move yourself. You have to be willing to be the person who brings a lunch, who drives an older car, and who sets firm boundaries on expenses. It is not about being cheap. It is about being intentional. It's about valuing your freedom more than the validation of strangers who do not care if you end up broke at 65. The window of time you have to build real wealth is closing, but it is not closed yet. You have to stop wasting money on things that do not add value to your life and start investing in your future. If you are over 40, you do not have time for more mistakes, but you do take control of your money by setting clear, measurable goals and holding yourself accountable to them every single day. If you want to dive deeper into this mindset and start executing on a real plan, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson. Leave a comment below with the word clarity and tell me one thing you are going to change about your spending habits this week. It is time to stop feeling stuck and start building the life you were meant to lead. You have the tools, you have the knowledge, and now you have the responsibility to act. Stop living in the past and start building your future, because your success is waiting for the man who finally decides to take control. The architecture of wealth is not built in a day, nor is it constructed through the erratic impulses of the ego. It is a slow, methodical accumulation of assets that eventually creates a galaxy of its own. Once you reach a certain threshold, your money starts to do the heavy lifting for you. This is the stage where the compound interest on your investments begins to outpace the labor of your hands. But getting to that point requires a level of discipline that most men find agonizing. It requires you to look at a shiny new vehicle, a luxury watch, or an overpriced vacation and recognize them for what they are: anchors. They are not rewards. They are weights that hold your ship in the harbor while the currents of opportunity pass you by. Consider the cost of your comfort. Every time you spend money you do not have on things you do not need, you are essentially purchasing a future of subservience. You are telling your employer, your creditors, and the world that you are willing to trade your autonomy for a fleeting moment of social status. Real, lasting power is found in the opposite direction. It is found in the decision to live beneath your means, even when you are fully capable of doing otherwise. When you have money in the bank that is not earmarked for rent or debt, you suddenly possess a leverage that the average man can only dream of. You can walk away from a toxic boss. You can relocate to a city that offers better prospects. You can pivot your career when the industry shifts. Financial security is not just about numbers on a screen. It is about the capacity to say no to the things that compromise your character or your well-being. To achieve this, you must develop a ruthless audit of your life. Start with your calendar and your bank statement. They are the only two documents that reveal what you truly value, regardless of what you claim to believe. If you say that your family is your priority, but your bank statement shows thousands of dollars spent on trivial distractions, while your retirement account sits stagnant, you are lying to yourself. If you claim that you are ambitious, but your calendar is filled with mindless scrolling and binge watching rather than skill acquisition or networking, you are sabotaging your own potential. Bring these two things into alignment. Cancel the subscriptions that provide no utility. Eliminate the social circles that encourage vanity over growth, and redirect those resources toward the engines of your own prosperity. Moreover, understand that wealth is a mental game played with physical tokens. People assume that the rich are simply those who make the most money, but this is a fundamental misconception. The truly wealthy are those who understand the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset puts money in your pocket while you sleep. A liability takes money out of your pod place money hearts of rust in twos. If you are exhausted and broke, it is almost certainly because your life is structured around liabilities. You are likely financing things that depreciate the moment they leave the showroom floor. Shift your focus. Prioritize the acquisition of assets that have compounding potential. Whether it is a business venture, real estate, or a diversified portfolio, these are the tools that build a legacy. There is also the matter of your inner circle. We are the average of the people we spend the most time with, and this is nowhere more evident than in our finance. If your friends are constantly trying to keep up with the latest trends and mocking the idea of long-term planning, they will drag you down with them. They will view your frugality as an insult to their own spending habits, and they will try to guilt you into joining them in their mediocrity. You must be prepared to lose friends on this journey. It is a necessary call. Seek out men who talk about ideas, investments, and personal growth. When you surround yourself with people who are obsessed with building, your own standards will naturally rise. You will stop comparing yourself to the person who has the most and start comparing yourself to the person who has the most integrity and the most control over their own destiny. Finally, remember that the goal is not to hoard money for the sake of hoarding. The goal is to maximize the utility of your life. Money is a tool, a medium of exchange that allows you to provide for your family, contribute to your community, and experience the world with a sense of security and freedom. When you take control of your finances, you are not closing yourself off. You are opening up doors that were previously locked. you are buying the ability to be generous on your own terms. You are buying the ability to focus on your health, your relationships, and the work that actually matters. This is the ultimate objective. Stop waiting for the stars to align or for the economy to cooperate. The market will always be volatile. Politics will always be messy. And the world will always be uncertain. None of that matters if you have built a strong enough foundation. Start today. Stay the course. Watch how quickly your world begins to transform when you stop chasing status and start chasing freedom. Your future self is begging you to make the right choice this time. Don't let him down.